In a world buzzing with notifications, endless scrolling, and constant entertainment, boredom has become something we fear, avoid, and almost never experience. Open your phone, tap a video, scroll through a feed, anything to escape even a single moment of quiet. But the Stoics saw boredom not as a problem, but as an opportunity. They believed that moments of emptiness, of stillness, of apparent nothingness were not a void to be feared, but a space to cultivate patience, creativity, and self-discipline. Today, we are going to explore why embracing boredom every day might be one of the most powerful habits you can develop. This isn't about punishing yourself or living a life of deprivation. It's about reclaiming control over your mind, stepping away from the compulsive need for constant stimulation, and learning the art of being fully present with yourself. By the end of this video, you'll understand why boredom is a tool for growth, and how practicing it daily can transform your resilience, focus, and mental strength. And before we start, if you want more wisdom to strengthen your mind and master your emotions, make sure to subscribe to the Stoic Mind so you never miss a video. The Stoics believe that external distractions, while entertaining, are shallow. They provide a temporary escape, but rarely offer lasting value. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If your thoughts are constantly filled with noise, entertainment, and distractions, your mind is never truly free. Boredom, on the other hand, creates a blank canvas. It forces your mind to turn inward, to reflect, to engage with your own thoughts rather than endlessly chasing external stimulation. But let's be honest, boredom feels uncomfortable. That discomfort is exactly why it's valuable. When we feel bored, our first instinct is to fill the gap, to check our phone, grab a snack, or watch something mindless. But the Stoics teach that resisting this impulse strengthens the mind. Each time you choose to sit with boredom instead of escaping it, you are training yourself to withstand discomfort. This is the same principle that underlies all forms of mental resilience. Just as muscles grow stronger when challenged, your ability to focus, to think clearly, and to remain calm strengthens every time you resist the urge for instant gratification. Now, boredom is not about doing nothing. It's about doing something with intention. When you embrace boredom, you create space for your mind to wander, to question, to imagine, and to create. Some of the greatest ideas in history were born in moments of apparent boredom. A blank page, a long walk, a quiet morning. These are the moments when creativity thrives, because the mind is not distracted by noise, feeds, or endless entertainment. The Stoics understood that our minds need these periods of silence to organize thoughts, solve problems, and gain clarity. Consider this. When you constantly avoid boredom, you rely on external sources of stimulation to feel alive. You let your environment control your attention. You are reactive, constantly chasing novelty. But when you allow yourself to be bored, you reclaim your power. You decide how to engage with the world, rather than letting it dictate your attention. You become proactive, intentional, and fully present. This shift from reactive to proactive is at the core of Stoic thinking. Boredom also teaches patience. In today's instant gratification culture, patience has become a rare skill. We expect results immediately, and we become frustrated when life doesn't deliver. By sitting with boredom, by not immediately seeking relief or entertainment, you practice waiting without complaint. You learn that discomfort is temporary, that your mind can tolerate silence, and that not every moment requires action or reaction. Patience learned through boredom translates to other areas of life: your work, your relationships, your personal growth. When you are comfortable with stillness, you can also endure delays, setbacks, and challenges without becoming overwhelmed. Self-discipline is another benefit. Boredom exposes the habits and impulses we usually hide from ourselves. When you are bored, you are confronted with the truth of your mind, your desires, your restlessness, your impatience. The Stoics believe that true freedom comes not from having what you want, but from mastering your desires. When you practice boredom, you practice self-control. You learn that you are not a slave to your impulses, that you do not need constant distraction to be content. Every time you resist the urge to escape boredom, you are reinforcing your ability to choose deliberate actions over automatic reactions. Let us talk about a practical example. Imagine you're standing in line at a coffee shop, waiting for 5 minutes longer than expected. The modern instinct is to pull out your phone, scroll social media, or check messages. But instead, the Stoic approach is to pause. Feel the moment. Observe your surroundings. Notice your breathing. Sit with the waiting, even if it feels uncomfortable. That small choice, doing nothing and simply being present, trains your mind in patience, self-discipline, and awareness. Over time, these small moments accumulate, creating a mental strength that is far more valuable than any momentary distraction could provide. Boredom also fosters creativity. When the mind is constantly fed with external entertainment, it becomes lazy. Creativity requires mental space, and space is created when you allow boredom to settle in. When you are bored, your mind begins to connect dots, to imagine solutions, to generate ideas that would never appear when it is constantly occupied. Many Stoics practice journaling as a tool to harness this creative potential. Writing down your thoughts, reflecting on your experiences, and exploring your imagination are all ways to use boredom as a catalyst for insight and growth. Now some may say, but boredom is boring. Why should I deliberately put myself in that state? The answer is simple. Discomfort is where growth happens. Life is filled with situations that are uncomfortable, unpredictable, and sometimes unpleasant. By learning to embrace boredom, you train your mind to withstand discomfort in all its forms. You learn to remain grounded when the world around you is chaotic. You learn that peace, focus, and clarity are found not in constant stimulation, but in the ability to endure and master moments of quiet. Embracing boredom also helps you appreciate pleasure. Modern society conditions us to take every enjoyable moment for granted. But when you experience boredom regularly, moments of joy become more vivid. A cup of coffee, a conversation, a walk in nature. These simple experiences gain depth because your mind is no longer dulled by constant distraction. The Stoics believed in temperance, not denying pleasure, but understanding it and appreciating it fully. Boredom, in this sense, sharpens your capacity for gratitude. So how can you start embracing boredom today? Start small. Begin with just a few minutes each morning without your phone or any external stimulation. Sit quietly. Observe your thoughts. Notice the discomfort without immediately trying to fix it. You might feel restless at first, and that's normal. But each time you do this, you strengthen your ability to be present, patient, and self-disciplined. Another method is to incorporate micro-boredom moments throughout your day. Walk without music. Stand in line without scrolling. Take a few moments to pause between tasks and do nothing. Notice how your mind reacts and resist the impulse to escape. These small moments, though seemingly insignificant, are powerful training for your mental resilience. You can also use journaling as a tool to harness the benefits of boredom. When you feel bored, write down your thoughts, ideas, or observations. Reflect on challenges you're facing, lessons you've learned, or goals you want to achieve. Boredom becomes a seedbed for insight and clarity. You transform what feels like emptiness into a productive, intentional practice. Remember, embracing boredom is not about rejecting pleasure, entertainment, or joy. It's about creating balance. It's about reclaiming control of your mind in a world designed to steal your attention. It's about learning that your worth, your peace, and your creativity are not dependent on external distractions, but on your ability to be present, patient, and self-disciplined. The Stoics knew that a strong mind is forged in moments of discomfort, silence, and reflection. They didn't seek constant entertainment. They sought mastery over themselves. Every time you allow boredom into your life, you are stepping into the same tradition. You are training your mind to be calm when chaos surrounds you, focused when distractions abound, and strong when impulses call for surrender. In fact, if you embrace boredom consistently, you'll find that life itself becomes richer. Moments of silence become powerful. Tasks that once felt tedious become opportunities for presence. Challenges are met with clarity. Your creativity flourishes, and your inner peace deepens. You learn that true freedom is not the ability to avoid boredom, but the ability to exist fully and intentionally, even in its presence. So here is your challenge. The next time you feel the urge to pull out your phone, distract yourself, or escape a moment of quiet, pause, breathe, sit with boredom, notice the discomfort, observe your mind, reflect, and embrace it. Over time, these small choices will compound into extraordinary mental strength, self-discipline, creativity, and resilience. If you found this video helpful and want more strategies to strengthen your mind, master your emotions, and embrace the wisdom of the Stoics, make sure to subscribe to the Stoic Mind. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video that can help you transform your life from reactive and distracted to calm, deliberate, and unshakable. Boredom is not your enemy. It is the soil from which clarity, discipline, and creativity grow. It is a tool the Stoics use to master themselves. It is waiting for you to embrace it. And when you do, you'll discover that the most powerful moments in life often come from doing nothing at all.